Good afternoon, everyone. So let's start the presentation, starting with the CHO role. So these are the table of contents we cover in this presentation. Starting with the introductory chapter, in which we have covered the background, the eSanjeevani 1.0 versus eSanjeevani 2.0, eSanjeevani 2.0 features, and the URL. So the background. So as we received a lot of suggestions from the doctors, CHO, and even from the patients. So keeping all suggestion in mind, all features have been incorporated in this new version, eSanjeevani 2.0. Second, evolving digital health ecosystem. As all of you know that digital technology is also evolving with pace of time. So that's the another reason of eSanjeevani 2.0. There is a change in IT also. And earlier there is a 5 lakh consultation capacity, operational capacity, but now it is increased up to 10 lakh operational capacity. So these are the eSanjeevani 1.0 versus eSanjeevani 2.0 features. As you know, eSanjeevani 1.0 is a cloud-based real-time telemedicine system modeled on EHR and telemedicine practice guidelines of MOHFW, ABDM compliant, SNOMED City compliant, based on hub and spoke architecture, family member consultation facility, support over 50 specialties, including Ayush, accessible through population scale apps like Arogya Setu and Umang. But now in the additional feature of eSanjeevani 2.0, it is a unified eSanjeevani, that is now the HWC and OPD is on the same portal. It is a microservices architecture, ABDM compliant, multilingual support for 12 languages, operational capacity of 10 lakh consultation per day, artificial intelligence enablement, follow-up enablement, integration like Ecolab DDS, eAushadhi, and Bluetooth enabled. So the features of eSanjeevani 2.0, I already covered. Some of them are multiple VC layouts, sharing of health record during consultation, Ecolab DDS, unified interface for doctors as well as the specialist. Then the URL. This is for the demonstration purpose, uat.esanjeevani.in. The updated, any changes in the URL or updation in the URL will be shared soon. Then login and dashboard, including the homepage with multilingual functionality, login by OTP, login with username and password, and the dashboard. So this is the homepage of eSanjeevani 2.0. It has a multilingual interface. You can select these languages according to your convenience, like the English, Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Marathi, Gujarati, Assamese, Odia, Bengali, and Punjabi. So one can choose the language according to their convenience. So login by OTP. One has to enter his mobile number and the login and the OTP will received at the registered mobile number, and then he can log in into the this portal successfully. Then log in by the password. So for the login by the password, you need your email or the mobile number. Once you have registered your email in this, you have received the OTP on your email and you can log in with this successfully. So this is the dashboard of the CHO. Here you can see the name and the mail phone number of the CHO, including the spokes name here, the district name and the national. Here the spoke name and the consultation count, total consultation duration. Login. So by going on the profile on the right top corner, you can update your profile. So the white fields are editable, or CHO can update the white fields, but these gray fields are not editable, and the CHO has to validate his mobile number as well as the email. He has also an option of upload his image here, and change password is also there. Then the fourth one is add patient, which include add patient details with existing Abha creation, patient details fetched from Abha, add patient without Abha, registered patient details. So when you go to the patient, then click on add patient. So it will ask you, do you want to proceed with Abha? If you click on yes, and then the another question is, do you have Abha number or address? Then if you click on yes, it will ask you the Abha number. So you can put your Abha address or Abha number here. There is also a scanner in which you can scan. So there is also a third one option. Do you want to proceed with OTP, in which you have to enter your Aadhaar number and OTP will received on your registered or linked mobile number with your Aadhaar, and you can register your patient using OTP. You can enter the OTP here, the mobile number and OTP here, and click on the continue. Do you want to proceed with Aadhaar address? It will ask, or then you have to click on yes, proceed. Like you'll see here, the Aadhaar number is entered. Aadhaar address is entered, like Jagmohan, height 27. Then click on yes, proceed. And then all the details is fetched by your Aadhaar address, and these fields are not editable. This is already fetched with your Aadhaar card, and then you have to click on save and create a case. So this is the Aadhaar card. You can also download your Aadhaar card from here by clicking on this download icon. So if you create your Aadhaar address, it will ask Aadhaar details already linked with other patient. Do you want to proceed to create case? Then click on yes, proceed. And if you want to proceed without Aadhaar, then click on yes. If you don't want to proceed without Aadhaar, then click on no. So here you have to enter all the fields manually, like the first name, the middle name, the last name, the date of birth, phone number, and email of the patient, including his gender, and the address. When all the details are filled, then you are able to see these details in the registered patient. Then the create case section, you have to click on action, click on the add button. So this is the case completion score. So for this, the CHO will give the score percentage. For the profile section, if there is a 5% is given for Aadhaar and 5% for the mobile number, the chief complaints including the 25% of the completion score. 8.33 is given for the history, like the medical, personal, or family history of the patient. Clinical examination, if at least two options should be filled, it includes the 10%. So this is from where you can register patient details, and you can create a case by clicking on this plus sign. Then the create case. which include the create case, case completion score, the follow-up consultation, chief complaint section, history, allergy, clinical examination, the manual device-based, which is a manual or device-based, clinical examination using select diagnostic, clinical examination manual entry, active medication section, upload health records, and the query part. And we'll cover all this in the demo part as well. So to create a case, you have to click on this plus sign and you have to select the create case option. You can also edit the patient profile also. So in the case, in the CHO part, there is also a case completion score index in which the percentage is given for each section. Like for the profile, 5% is given for the Aadhaar and 5% is given for the patient mobile number. For the chief complaint section, 25% is given. And for the history of the patient, like the medical history, the personal and the family history, 8.33% is given for the each section. For the clinical examination, at least two options should be filled and you have and give the 10% for the clinical examination. And the query part, if you are using the 100 character, it will give you 10%, 100 to 200, 20%, and 200 above, 30%. Then the follow-up consultation. If the patient is already get consulted to the some doctor, so he have to choose the follow-up, click on yes, and if not, then no. And the patient has to attach or link his previous record to this prescription as well. And if there is no follow-up consultation, then click on no. Then the chief complaint section. You can either choose from here like fever, cough, acidity, or can search your complaints in the search box. And when you click on cough and fever, it will AI enabled and give you questions like since how long do you have the problem? So you have to give the answer for this also. And once you have done, you will see the fever duration, one set of fever, intensity of fever, the temperature, reason for fever, and all the chief complaints which are selected by you are there. And the second one is the history of the patient. So there are three sections for the history, like the medical history of the patient, the personal history of the patient, or the family history of the patient. So one can choose according to their his family history, like medical treatment, hypertension, if there is any personal history like the alcoholic or smoking, and the family history like the hypertension, the diabetes, you can choose or select accordingly. The medical, the personal, and the family history. And there is a allergy section also. If the patient has allergy, they can use this drop down list and the duration like less than 3 months. And the severity of the allergy. If you still have allergy, you can click on the still exist. And if not, you can leave this. Then third one is the clinical examination. So it is the device based or the manual. You can click on the enter manually. So by clicking on enter manually, select the diagnostics like the blood pressure, the temperature, and the weight of the patient, and click on enter manually. And you have to fill these details manually, like the blood pressure 120 by 80, the height of the patient, temperature, as well as the weight, which you are selected, and click on add diagnostic. Then the fourth one is active medication. If the patient is already taken some medicine and is on medication, they have to select the medication from this by clicking on the drop down list. The patient has to, the CHO has to add three letters of the medicine, and the drop down list will appear, and has to select from this drop down list the frequency, dose, type, and duration of the medicine. You can add one or more than one medicine in this active medication. Then the health record. So there are two options is given, the image or the document. You can click on image or either document and select the type of the image or document and add health record there. The format is PDF or the file size is less than 5 MB, and the you can upload three files up to 5 MB each. And there is also an option of teleradiology and fetch record from ABHA from there also. And the sixth part is query, which is also mandatory. So you can add the query part like please suggest medication accordingly. So sixth one is the consultation part. So first is hub or specialization. You have to choose your hub in which you want to connect. Then the call initiate. Then you have to allow your camera or microphone. Audio video consultation is started. There is a multiple VC layout, so you can choose according to that. And the last option is synchronize, in which you can synchronize both at the patient end as well as the doctor end. So after selecting the hub, like here, Delhi State Cancer Institute has been selected. Then the specialty of the doctor, anatomy, and you will able to see the doctor is active or not. If when the doctor is active, it will display here, and you have to select and make a call to the doctor. So here your call will going like ringing. So it is mandatory to always allow your camera and microphone permission for the smooth VC. So here your VC start. There is also a multiple VC layout. You can choose from these four options. First, second, third, and fourth. First one is in which the prescription part and the VC is equally distributed. Second, in which the VC is more and the prescription part is less. And the third one is in which the prescription part is larger than the VC part. And the fourth one is in which the prescription part is more and VC is very, very small. Then the synchronize and chat. There is also a chat option. So you can click on this chat box and the chat will start it. If the CHO has forget to add some the chief complaints or the active medication or the health record of the patient, he will also do it after the VC has been started during the VC consultation also by clicking on this synchronize button. Then the seventh one is e-prescription. So this is how e-prescription is received at the CHO end, as well as the doctor is also able to download this prescription at his end. So this is the case completion score I already discussed. When you enter the details, it will give you some percentage for filling the details of the patient, like for the ABHA address, ABHA ID, or the ABHA number you are entered, you will give the 5%. For the patient mobile number, 5%. For the medical, family or personal history, 8.33% for each. For the chief complaints, 25% is given. And for the clinical examination, if you are filled two option, it will give you 10%. And the description part, when you give the 100 character, 10%, above 100, 20%, 200 or 300 above 30%. So when you completed your case, you can there is a three options: the completed case, the in process case, and drafted case. So by clicking on the HWC consultation, you are able to see your drafted case, in process case, as well as the completed case. So this is all about the CHO role. Now we are discussing the doctor role. So these are the index, which I already covered in the CHO part. So I'll skip here. So for the doctor login, this is the same as the CHO. There's two options for the login, the OTP as well as the password option. You can either log in by using your email or by your mobile number. When you are logged in successfully, this is the dashboard of the doctor, where there is a HWC consultation as well as OPD consultations, which are now unified. So there is the online or offline status of the doctor. A doctor can able to see his consultation duration, his average consultation duration, consultation which are in process, and the consultation hours. And by clicking on the right top corner, the profile section, doctor can edit his or her profile. First of all, it is mandatory to verify the mobile number or email ID, upload his signature, his or her signature, as well as the profile picture, and click on update. So the signature is very mandatory. Without signature, the prescription is not valid. So there is a online and the offline status, the online and the away status of the doctor. Like here, the green button you can see. And if you choose the away part, it will ask you, are you sure you want to change your status to away? This will make you unavailable for the patient or calls. So this is also a option given to the doctors. If he will not do the OPD or HWC, he can put himself on this inactive status by clicking on this away sign. Then the call received. So this is how the call received from the CHO site. So at the doctor side, it is also mandatory to always allow your camera and microphone permissions. Then this is the consultation process. The VC has been started. And doctor has to starting with the provisional diagnosis, and there is also a system suggested differential diagnosis is there based on your chief complaints, which is filled by the CHO. It will give you suggestions about the diagnosis of the patient, like if there if the CHO has choose the fever, cough, and respiratory problem. For this, the system has give you the suggestions like the patient has a respiratory infection, maybe the viral fever or the upper respiratory infection. So you can choose accordingly. And if you don't want to go to this, then there is option of provisional diagnosis. You have to enter 3 letter of your diagnosis, and you can the drop down list will appear and you have to select from the drop down list, like fever. Then the medicine, you have to click on the plus sign and give the three letter, type the three letter of your medicine like paracetamol, PAR, and the drop down list will appear. You have to select your medicine from this, give your frequency, dose, type, and duration, and click on save. You can also add one or more medicines by clicking on add more option. Then by giving you the advice, there is also another feature which is incorporated in eSanjeevani 2.0, the attachment part. Now the doctor can also add attachment for the patient, like any fever chart, any diet chart, or the exercise chart. So doctor will upload by clicking on this attachment part. And this is the multiple VC layout. You can choose accordingly, according to your convenience. There is also option of chat. You can choose this one also. And the prescription preview. There is also of synchronization of both the side. Now the doctor as well as CHO can synchronize. And for the preview, click on the preview option. And for the send prescription, are you sure you want to end this consultation? By click on the end consultation, this pop-up will appear. Are you sure you want to end this consultation? So you have two options, like you want to send your prescription or complete prescription letter later. If you choose this complete prescription later, the case is going in the in process case, and you will complete the case later. And by clicking on the add consultation, it will again ask you, you won't be able to edit it after submitting. So by clicking on the yes, you are sure you are fill all the details correctly. You have to click on yes, and your prescription, your VC is ended, and your prescription will send to the CHO part. He can download it and take medicine from the any drugstore. So from here, on the patient or the CHO can download the prescription by clicking on this download sign. So for the completed cases or to view the in process cases, the doctor has to click on this HWC consultations and can choose the in process case or the completed case. So thank you. Now we'll do the demonstration. So for the demonstration purpose, I'm using the uat.esanjeevani.in. Don't use this URL. So this is the CHO dashboard. Here the CHO can see his name of the HWC like SC, SVP, COVID Hospital, Delhi, the state, the consultation which is completed by the CHO, total consultation duration, and average consultation duration. So by clicking on this patient, click on the add patient for registering the patient. If you want to proceed with ABHA, click on yes. So if the patient has ABHA address or ABHA number, click on yes. Otherwise, we will choose no. And if the patient has to proceed with the OTP, he has to choose yes, enter his mobile number here, and then further proceed. But here I'm using the manual registration without ABHA. So phone number or email is not mandatory. If the patient is willing to give you his or her phone number, you can enter. Otherwise, you can skip this. Click choose the gender of the patient, address, the state, district, city, and pin code. So when you are using the registering part using Aadhaar, all this detail is fetched by the Aadhaar card. But I'm here do without Aadhaar. So all the details I have to enter manually. Then click on save and create case. Then it will ask if it is a follow-up consultation. If it is a follow-up consultation, you can click on yes. If no, you can choose no. Then the chief complaint section. Like I'm selecting fever, cough, then save and next. So it will ask since how long you are having fever. So to provide more and more information to the doctor, it will ask questions and you have to answer. Then you have to click on save and next. Then the history part. Then there is a three option is there, the medical history of the patient, the personal history or the family history. So for the medical history, I'll choose the diabetes. And for the personal, like alcoholic. And for the family history, I'll choose the diabetes. So when you choose these, your completion score will also increase. Then the allergy part. So if the patient has any allergy, type the three letter of that allergy. The drop down list will appear and you have to select from that the duration, the severity, and still exist, yes, and click on add. So you can add one or more than one allergy in this section. And there is also an additional free text box and the limit is 1500 character. So you can also type in the free text box. Then the clinical examination. So it is a device based or the enter manually. So if your health facility has these devices, you can choose them or otherwise go to the enter manually section. Click on blood glucose, blood pressure, and BMI. Then enter these details manually, like blood glucose, blood pressure, and the BMI. Then click on add diagnostics. Then the active medication part. If the patient is already taken medication, like some of the patient is taken paracetamol during the fever, so you can type here like 3 letter of the medicine. The drop down list will appear and you can select from the drop down list the frequency, the dose, type, and the duration, and click on add. Then the health record. There is also two options here. You can either upload the image or the document. So by clicking on the document, select the type like prescription record and click on this plus sign. So you can upload the 3 files up to 5 MB each in a PDF format here. Like I'm selecting the old prescription of the patient. Then the query part. Then you have to choose hub in which you want to connect, the specialty of the doctor, so the doctor which are available at that time, the list will appear and you have to choose. So now I'll make a call to the hub. For this, I have to log in as a hub doctor as well. So now this is the doctor which is logged in the hub. So for the away or the online status, doctor has to choose this. To update their signature or update their profile, the doctor has to click on this, click on the profile and validate his or her mobile number or email and upload the signature from here, browse, and then upload their signature and click on the update section. So without signature, the prescription is not valid. So it is mandatory to always upload their signature, always allow their microphone and camera. And if the doctor is not available, you can say So now I'm making a call to the hub doctor. So here in the right hand side, you will see the doctor Ankita is on the hub side. So I'm selecting this Dr. Ankita and make a call to the doctor. So chief complaint is the mandatory part. You have to enter this, otherwise your call will not go into the hub site. So it shows when it shows the doctor is not in active state. So you have to refresh the doctor dashboard and then try to make a call. So here see the health facility name of the CHO name as well as the patient name with their age and gender, and you have to accept the call. Yeah.
अभी अभी क्या ये लिखी था होगा भी मुझे कुछ जाते हैं ये मॉडल करेक्ट आ जाएगा तो जैसे हम सुबह लगता है हमारे पास ये दाने लगते हैं तो वे काट दो हाँ काट से आप अपने माइनस का काट से वैसे तो उन्होंने बोला वैसे तो
So there is a net connectivity issue. I have to starting with create a case for the patient. So I'll again make a call to the hub. So I'll starting with the chief complaints.
वैसे तो हमने पहले वो बोला था कि आप अपने सेंटर के साथ जल्दी की जैसे पर वो हाँ कॉमर्स से करो देखते भी ऐसा सब कुछ करता है
So now call has been made by entering all the details. Doctor has to accept the call. So left hand side is the CHO part and the right hand side is the hub part. So the VC has been started. So first thing you have to do, always allow your camera and microphone permissions. Here is a connectivity issue. So the video is not coming. So as a doctor side, starting with the chief complaints. All the details are there. History is there. The patient is diabetic. All the history, chief complaints part has been is there, and health record is there. So doctor has to start it with the provisional diagnosis. Here I'm selecting the viral fever. The medicine part, additional medicine. Like I'm giving here the paracetamol. (650 mg) frequency, dose, for the 5 days, and then click on save. The advice part. And doctor also has option to attach any documents related to the fever chart, like fever chart, diet chart, or any other exercise which are given to the patient. Doctor has also option of preview. By clicking on the preview, doctor can see his or her details. Then the synchronize part. When the doctor uses this part, the editing things will also automatically visible to the CHO part as well as the doctor. And CHO also has this option of synchronization, and the data is visible to the doctor side as well. And for by clicking the add consultation, it will ask you, are you sure you want to end this consultation? So send prescription, you won't be able to edit it after submitting. So click on yes. So now you will able to see the prescription has been sent to the CHO part as well. There is a signature of the doctor is there. So the prescription is mandatory. So one can take a medicine from drugstore by using this e-prescription. And you can download this prescription by clicking on this sign. And the prescription has